that, if we're ready, we'll let Coach Petersen get us started.
Okay. Yeah, no, not significantly different from watching the tape. Our defense played really hard, did some good things. On offense, thought our pass protection was pretty darn solid, and thought gave Jake a chance to set his feet and throw some decent balls downfield. He saw the field pretty well, and overall, I think we made some progress there. And like I said, after the game, we continue to practice hard and improve. That's just going to be so critical with this crew that we have. If we can do that, we can feel okay about ourselves.
What are you seeing, Jake, just from the Boise game to week 3 as far as progress, as far as comfort level, confidence, the whole package for you?
Well, I think it starts with the entire offense being able to stay on the field a little bit, and I think when anybody gets into a rhythm, which he has done that a little bit, starts to get into a rhythm and he can set his feet. He's going to throw some good balls, but I do think he's getting a little more comfortable being out there, feeling the rush, seeing different blitzes, those type of things.
His ability to escape the rush and get away from that, I mean, that's something I don't think a lot of people expected. Touchdown pass example of that. I mean, do you see that coming, I guess, with the guy you recruited? I guess how impressive is that?
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily what we thought of as being one of his strengths, but I think anytime a guy can get some things done with his feet, especially when you know he's a pocket passer, is always going to be a benefit. And so I think he's better than we probably thought he was. And we always talk about that. There's going to be times when the defense actually covers things that we don't have. If they can create a little bit, that does make it awful hard. We work really hard on the defense. Utah State does a great job on the goal line. It doesn't bite on things and keeps things alive. And then those can be hard to cover on defense.
You mentioned pass protection, Chris. What about the overall performance of the offensive line?
Yeah, I thought those guys did a good job. I mean, my hat's off to Coleman Sheldon. That kid played the entirety of left tackle, and he's played there 2 days his entire life. Left guard, sorry about that. Yeah, because he's played everything else. We really have moved him kind of all over, even though he may not have shown up there yet in the game. But the one place that we really hadn't had him was left guard. And so he did a great job. He really did, and competed hard, and we were really proud of him. But then those other guys, Seif in the middle, calling the signals, and those other freshmen, I thought they did a good job for the first time all out there together. Can we improve? Absolutely. Do we need to improve? For sure. First time out of the gate, they were pretty good.
What did you hope to accomplish with the changes in offense?
Put our best guys out there. It gives our best chance to win. And so, I think that was accomplished there. And so, even some of the other guys that are, now Coach Ross is rotating those guys that are backups. Those guys are going to continue to get better. Shane Brostick's a junior, but he hasn't played a ton as well. And then, Matt James in there, and some of those other guys, Andrew Kirkland, they haven't played. So all those guys, they're going to continue to get better.
Coach, you're starting your back conference play this week. Pac-12 really thinking that back conference play, then Stanford beat USC. What are your thoughts on this sort of conference play?
I think it's no different than I thought. I mean, this is a really, really hard conference. I think each week we're just going to see some really hard-fought games. I think some of the scores are going to come out different than people predicted. I think a lot of it's going to have to do with how people stay healthy throughout the course of the year. But it's exactly what I thought.
First, the idea of using Lindquist near the goal line, you see that package continuing, and where did you see how on that?
Yeah, I mean, they got a hand in there, one of those awkward deals where the ball popped out, and they got a good bounce in the way they went. But, we got to be able to use all of our people in creative ways. I thought Jonathan Smith did a great job being really creative with our offense. And we got a really difficult blitzing team. There was a lot of different blitzes at you.
Is there a balance there with just not wanting to take Jake off the field when he's playing as well as he has been?
It depends what play we're calling. Jake's not better than some of our other guys in certain plays, so we'll try to put our best personnel on there.
How much of a concern is the run game, or you could chalk up some of that to
Well, whoever you chalk it up to, it's a concern. I mean, we definitely need to run the ball better than we have. And, you know, it doesn't, I could be a broken record all year. If we don't run the ball better, I'm going to be saying the same thing. And so we'll continue to work hard on it, continue to try to come up with answers for our guys, give them a chance to be successful. There's no question, it needs to be better.
What are the issues that you see when you watch the tape now?
You know, I think it's, I really think it's newness. You know, newness of some guys being out there playing together. You know, I do think from kind of where we were a couple of weeks ago, you know, playing Trey Adams. You know, we were going to put him on the field a couple of weeks ago. Now I played 60 whatever snaps. And so that's a lot of progress right there. And so just each week we have progress. Yeah, they know their assignment now pretty solidly, but now can they attack their assignment? Can they attack their guy without? And so we'll keep working on that.
Chris, any update on Elgin Camp and Drew Baker?
Yeah, both those guys, you know, we'll be week to week. We'll just kind of see how that goes. And you know, certainly not out for the season. Week to week.
How much of a challenge is it to face Jared Goff on the Dallas passing attack?
I mean, those guys are very, very good. I mean, I think that whole offense is taking the next step, next level. I mean, they were looking last year. I think the line's better. They got a bunch of backs that run really hard. And he's good. I mean, he's really, really good. He can, you know, gets it out really fast. I think he'll hang in the pocket and he'll sit on his back foot. And that guy can throw it down the field before he runs on his back foot. I mean, on the line. So they're good.
Is there any concern with either Jake or Drew that it could be longer than a week?
Week to week. That's how it is. Week to week.
Do you see any similarities between Jake and Jared Goff as far as like being pure progression passer?
Being what?
As far as their ability to read their progressions?
Yeah, that's hard to say. I mean, you got a guy that's played 3 years, and another guy's played 3 games, and so you know, it's kind of hard to make that comparison right now. I mean, I think Goff is one of the best in the country without question. So it's going to hard to make that comparison.
What do you think is most impressive about Goff?
He can make all the throws, and he gets it out very quickly, but then he'll stay in the pocket, and he can deliver the ball sitting on his back foot downfield. You know, most guys hang on to him. You got to hitch up to get that ball out, and he does not need to do that. Probably 2 really, really big runs, scrambles in the Texas game, so he can obviously run. He's not a guy that can't get out of the rush's way. So he's, you know, the guy that's, I think that's why the NFL guys are so excited about him, you know, because he's big and athletic, but he's a guy that takes in there, throws it all over.
You see a different player when you look at him than when you were scouting them last season?
I think their whole offense is different. I just think it's the next, you know, they've been doing it now a couple, 3 years, and with a lot of those same players. So again, I just kind of go across the board. I think their O-line and their run game is better than it was. And then, you know, Kenny Lawler, Drags, and those guys have been around there for a while. And I mean, they really execute that offense at a high, high level. So I think it's kind of all of them and all together. But I think they've probably all gotten better.
Still looks like their defense is susceptible to different points. What have you seen in terms of maybe some changes from last year to this year?
Yeah, and so it's still a little early, still studying, you know, the whole pack, and I haven't got to everybody yet. that side too. I mean, I think it's the second year with the system, and you know, I think they're playing better defense in terms of the specifics and those type of things. We're still a little bit, like I said, in game plan mode, and I still haven't got to all the tape I need to come with a strong opinion on that. But I do know from what I've seen that they look different than they did last year.
Chris, Jake was, I think, 12 or 14, about a couple scores after the kick.
Yeah.
And can you just talk about kind of how you've seen him react to going back to Boise and then Saturday? Does he react like a typical freshman to mistakes like that? What have you seen from his demeanor on the sideline and things like that?
Yeah, you know, I don't really ever get caught up in the like, does he act like a freshman? You know, this guy's like a first-time coach. This guy's like this age. I mean, way back when I first became a head coach, there was 2 coordinators we hired that were 29 years old, and I didn't even know that until about 2 months later. Everybody's jumping up and down, and so like having to hire guys is shown. And Brian Harsin, Justin Wilcox. I mean, it just has to do with maturity and like, you know, experience is important, but you know, what's their demeanor, what's their work ethic, you know, how do they handle things? And so I think about that with Jake. I mean, he's just kind of always the same. I don't think of him as like a really young guy now. Does he have a ton of experience? No. But he's always been very mature. Everything, ever since we've been around him, since a young guy in high school. That makes sense.
I just think, I guess, does he seek you out? Do you seek him out? Is he kind of, hey, where did I do wrong there? What's just, how does he?
Well, it's a little bit of both. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Sometimes, you know, if it's a blatant thing, you know, we'll be seeking him out real quickly. But he's always very inquisitive. I mean, the whole time, he's on it. I mean, he's like analyzing everything coming off the field. You know, really is how it should be. I mean, it's like, whether it was to play 3 plays earlier that didn't go just right, you know, he's always got a question. He's always wondering and thinking.
How much is that? I'm sorry. How much is that you talking to him, and how much is that Jonathan talking with him about what's
Well,
going on?
Jonathan talks to him the most without question. I mean, it's been the majority of time together, and so it's probably better for us 2 guys talk. You know, sometimes, you know, when I'm talking to him, I can see blatant things. It's pretty easy sometimes to see it from the sideline. I mean, when I'm not getting rushed and pressured and all those type of things. But you know, he's got a good demeanor. But it's, you know, it's going to get harder. I mean, that we know. I mean, the schedule continues to get harder, and so he'll see some more difficult things. And teammates are going to have to step up for him and pass protect a little bit better. We're going to have to run the ball, and then the receivers are going to have to make plays and give him a chance. You know, everybody wants to talk about him. He's done some good things, but some guys around him have done some good things. But as it gets tougher, everybody else has to help him out.
With Jake learning so much every week now, I mean, his learning curve is so high, is there a danger of paralysis by analysis? I mean, can you maybe get to a point where you're oversaturated?
Yeah, I think you can, and not only for like one person. I think you can, you know, all of a sudden if you confuse somebody else on your offense, it takes that one guy to break down. You know, on this play, one guy in that play. So, I mean, I think you definitely are very aware of that, and we're always trying to push the envelope. But you know, you guys got to be able to play fast and not think a ton. Hopefully, what's happening is as you go through the season, you know, there's recurring themes in terms of schemes and concepts that you've done, and you maybe repackage it in a certain way, and they get more comfortable as you go on. Give the defense enough new things, you know, a few new things to think about. You know, I think that's always the game as you go through the season. So I'm hoping that it goes a little bit the other way. You know, that everybody gets more comfortable with the things we're doing.
And have you noticed that, does he get any assistance maybe from some of the seniors out there like Steve or Jadon, or just to, you know, just to kind of make sure that everyone's on the same page?
I think that you know, everybody's kind of so concerned with their own world out there that I don't think it's really those guys coming back. I mean, if there might be a route, some of those guys will talk to them. Protection-wise, you know, usually there's so many different things going on, and we'll try to help them out there, make sure that it's like, hey, that, you know, you're not responsible for that. That was somebody else that should have been protected. Those type of things. I think it's much more the coaches talking to the quarterback than the other guys. Now, you know, I mean, receivers, they're probably open every single snap. He's probably getting that in his ear from the side of him. You not seeing it? You Yeah, I think there's always some merit in those type of things, but they can, you can't necessarily talk to them when he's on the field anyways, and so they can talk right after, and they do each series. But I think it's important first, the coordinator to really see what is happening from a different vantage point and on the sideline. I kind of liked it sometimes when I was a coordinator, and I never was on the field during games, but I thought hard about it because during scrimmages and those type of things, I couldn't see what was going on, and so I wasn't nearly as irritated and mad. I didn't know who to be mad at, so I thought about maybe I should, because every play I'd be mad upstairs, because I knew exactly what happened. But I think somebody needs to be up there to be able to be the clear picture eyes up there for everybody else.
Is Jeff your backup quarterback right now? Somewhere to happen to Jake?
I think we're competing each week with those guys, and to tell you the truth, I'm not really exactly sure where we are with that. Yeah.
Chris, do you plan to get Tristan Toscano a few more carries?
Yes, we do, so everybody better back off when he's on the field. That's an affirmative yes.
Did you see something on the big field, did you see something on tape that?
Yeah, yeah, Coach showed it, for sure. Very aggressive block team. And so we were looking for a certain look, and we got it. Again, credit to Coach Show, credit to Jeff Linguist. See it. If we didn't have it, we probably got out of it. We saw it, where we went.
From a mechanic standpoint, can the kicker actually be called for a false start?
Good question. Probably. I think if you reset, you're probably okay. You're in the backfield. I don't know how many times that's been called. Usually just throws their stride off and all those type of things.
Did you speak to the members of Brandon Beaver's convoy down South Carolina?
Well, you know what? There was just one guy that we should have blocked, obviously. Some other guys were doing some nice things in terms of screening guys off and not taking shots. And one of our guys was kind of looking like this, and was kind of, he's running, looking over his shoulder. The guy came up on his opposite shoulder, made a play right in there. And so we showed the team that. I thought there's some really smart kind of screening, no blocks on there. But I also think we can learn some things from it that, hey, we still need to, those guys are going to play hard too. Something happens like that, they're not going to have guys shutting down. They're going to keep chasing, and there's some fast people on the field. And so I think that was a good one. There's always a fine line between, do you really need that block? Sometimes we do. And most of the time we don't. So we looked at that and learned some things.
Anything else from anybody?